make New Mexico red chili sauce. This is a recipe from Grandma Dorothy Romero. It's one that I make often because it's so delicious, and it's a great sauce to have around because you can use it in so many different things. If you make carne adobada, you can also use it with huevos rancheras. If you've got beans, you could just scoop it out and add it to your beans, or anything. If you're making bacon and eggs in the morning, you just want to put it on top of your eggs. It's delicious in anything. A quesadilla. I mean, I can go on and on, but you get the drift. So today we're going to make New Mexico red chili sauce. Now, this recipe actually calls for about 10 pods of red chili, and you want to get New Mexico red chili, okay? Sometimes the bags are marked hot or mild, and I'm going to double the recipe. So first things first, since it calls for 10, we're going to do 20. So the first thing the recipe wants us to do is stem these. We want to get the seeds out of them because those seeds add a little extra heat. Okay, so I got my kitchen scissors because that'll make this job easier. Just cut off the end of it and then let those seeds come out. Get as many of them out as you can because those seeds add a little heat, and this way more people can enjoy it. They'll get a, I don't have to rinse these now because they're going to get dipped, actually soaked in hot water and then some cold water, so they'll be nice and clean. All right, this way we want them right now to get them in the oven. That's our, they're gonna go next. So let's stem these and get the seeds out, and I'll be right back. So the seeds are out, the tops are off, and the stems are out. I wanna show you something else to do besides what I showed you, which was just snipping off the top and dumping out the seeds. I look inside because you wanna make sure you get, see this right here? Get that out of there too. Sometimes you can pull out, it's real short. Here's another one, so you can kind of see it right there. See it? Get that out of there. Now these are gonna go into the oven, and we're just gonna, warm them up. We don't wanna burn them, and these can go quickly. So you really wanna check your oven. I've got an electric oven, I've set it at 250. All right, into the oven they go. Okay, so the chilies are in the oven. I've got the timer set for 10 minutes. I'll check them in 10. And I thought I may as well come out here and enjoy the view and a couple of sips of ice cold beer. Because cooking can be very, very stressful. Delicious. So I checked them after 10 and they did need 5 more minutes. So 15 minutes total in this electric oven at 250. You can see they look beautiful. They're not burnt or anything. They're perfect, and they smell yummy. I got the next step ready, and that's a bowl of cold water and a bowl of hot water. So what we're gonna do now is put them in the cold water. Ooh. Give them a little bath in here. Just really to kind of stop the cooking, I think. There you go. By the way, if you're wondering, it might be, Grandma Dorothy is my best friend Lori's grandma. And she's my grandma too. We were good buddies. And I just loved hanging out with her, and she cooked me some great meals, including this. These are nice and soft now, you can see. See how pliable they are? I love that. And we're gonna put them in a blender. Now, the thing with the blender is I have a designated red chili sauce blender because these can be hot and sometimes they can stain different materials. So this is my red chili blender. So let's get these in here. You don't have to super drain them of the water. We're gonna need that anyway. So put some in here and get moving with this so you can see the process here. Oh, yummy, they're so good. Just trying not to make too big of a mess. All right, I just put some in there to start with. And then I'm gonna add some of the garlic. Now, the garlic, as we mentioned earlier, Grandma Dorothy's recipe called for 4 cloves of garlic for about 10 pods. But that's not enough garlic for me, so I have a lot more. This is a nifty little device I got from Dad. These are not peeled garlic. You just pop them in there. So it does get a little, oh, here we go, that's a good one. Ah, there we go. See? Time saver. Alrighty, let's put some of this garlic in there. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna put some juice, some of the, I call it chili juice. It's just the water, it's been soaking in, we need that. And now let's blend it, see where we're at, and we'll add some salt and pepper too. All right, so you can see that ground down to this. Now you know why I doubled the recipe. We're gonna need a lot more. So let's add some more of these chilies. The recipe calls for salt and pepper to taste. So let's just add a little salt. And it's just a pinch of oregano, just a pinch. Whoa, it's got a kick to it. So, but it's yummy. One of the things that Lori's mom, Irene, used to put in most of her recipes that are like this, and always in this recipe, she liked to add a little coffee. So we do as an homage to Mom Rini. We add a little coffee. The recipe doesn't call for it, but if you have coffee when you make this, do it. It does do something wonderful to the flavor. And we're gonna blend this up, and then I'm gonna keep adding some of the chili juice water, the hot water, to this mixture until I get it the consistency that I want. So once I get to that, then I'll be back to show you. Okay, so the consistency is really nice. See? Looks more like a sauce now. And you want to blend your chilies and everything until you get it nice and smooth like this. And you add the chili juice. If you need more salt or pepper, add it, or oregano to your taste, and then always taste it to see if the heat's right for you too. After mentioning Carne Adobada earlier, I'm gonna make that for dinner tonight. Why not? We have some pork chops, so we're gonna make Carne Adobada, and I might just whip up some sopapillas or homemade tortillas too. Red chili sauce, New Mexico red chili sauce. I'm gonna make a version of Carne Adobada. I've got some pork chops here. What I'm gonna do is salt the pork just a little. And let's start layering it in. All right, so it's been marinating, our version of Carne Adobada with our New Mexico red chili sauce. It's marinating in the fridge for a couple of hours. And now we're gonna put it covered, obviously, in a 350-degree oven. And we're gonna cook it covered for 45 minutes. This recipe calls for 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then a half a cup of shortening. I already have the dry ingredients all together. You always put your dry ingredients together first. I'm sure you know that. And then we're gonna cut in our shortening. You can use shortening or lard. I have shortening, so that's what we're using. And get that in there. Just start chopping that up and mixing it in. And then have some warm water handy too, because you're gonna need that to start adding to this dry ingredients and the shortening to make our tortilla dough. All right, now we're gonna add some water. And this is the fun part because you kind of, you're figuring how it's gonna go as you go along here. I'm not sure how much water you're gonna need because you just don't know. We're just gonna start mixing it in until we get this consistency that we want. So I added 1 cup of water just to get me going, and you can see it's kind of coming together, but we're gonna need some more water. So I've got that. I'm gonna add a little more. This is where you wanna be careful. You don't wanna add too much. Make a mess then. Let's see how that does. So the dough came out great. Tortilla dough is not a super soft dough at all. It's not a soft dough at all. So you see, it looks really good. Now we're just gonna pinch off a little bit. Depends how big you want to make your tortillas. Put some flour down. This is Grandma Dorothy's tortilla rolling pin. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pretty round, huh? Alrighty, we'll take this first one. I'm just gonna, I put some flour on this plate too. And then we'll keep going, make a couple more. All right, let's try one. Why not? This is nice and hot. So and you don't need any grease down or anything. No oils or anything. And we're just gonna let that cook. Okay. And then turn it over, let it cook on the other side. How about it, huh? Looks beautiful. All right, so what you do is you just, oh, it's a little hot. Flip it until you get it nice and toasty. And then put it in a towel, cover it up. Say I'll be back in a bit and make some more. All right, time's up. Out of the oven. Ooh, 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 yum. Mmm, smells delicious. Joni, be quiet. Be quiet, or you won't get a tortilla. Okay. And okay, here we go. We got some nice homemade tortillas here. Some delicious carne adobada, a version of, and we're gonna make a mess making our tortillas. Margarita in here, and life is good. So thank you, Grandma Dorothy, for these great recipes. Thanks for watching.